abundance, my people. Abundance. There's nothing that they can do about this. Clearly, they didn't put this on. They put this on world news, but a lot of people may have caught it and did not quote it. But I told you before, it's the reason why the airplane pilots are retiring, because they're catching what you call cancer at a high level and rate, because the ozone layer is being removed at a rapid pace, and is now radiation levels has increased exponentially. UVA, UVB, and now UVC radiation. And UVC radiation is a detoxifier, a germ killer, a mutating wavelength. So along with the radiation, UVA, UVB, and UVC now on the ground, that's all changing your DNA. You also have what you call CMEs, coronal mass ejections, which are ionized particles that separate the electrons from around the atom, exposing the center of the atom. And this right here is a game changer, because this is everyone's DNA, or everyone's DNA is altering on the planet, which means your physiology, your phenotype is altering and changing. So what are we changing into? But this pilot right here had what you call a heart attack while it was, or a heart attack while it was in flight. And look at what happened.
From Miami, news one of the pilots suffered a medical emergency and did not survive. The flight was diverted. ABC's Victor Kender tonight on both scares, starting with Houston.
His flight from Miami to Santiago, Chile Monday. There were 3 pilots on board when the flight diverted to Panama. The airline saying the crew tried saving the pilot's life mid-flight. Medical teams standing by when the plane landed, but the pilot died. Latam said that pilot had been with them for 25 years. The cause of death has not been released. And tonight the FAA says they will investigate that Southwest flight over Houston. David?
Major medical breakthrough tonight with doctors.
Now pause. Now the reason why I wanted to show you that, not only like I told you, due to the fact that they're going to start experiencing neurological issues and their anatomies are changing, they no longer can use our organs to replace their organs no more. So this is why Elon Musk is doing experimentations with animals. And the reason, and the animals that they are experimenting with are the animals that they share their genetic makeup with. You're not going to experiment and use animals that you don't have a direct genealogy connection to. So this is the thing. This is the ignorant part that a lot of people need to stop. Especially the eukaryotic cell organisms. This is the ignorant part that a lot of you all need to stop pretending like y'all don't know what the hell is going on, or what your genetic makeup is, and why this man is constantly using chimpanzees, experimenting on pigs and cows. So here we go right here. Listen to this.
In New York City are calling a landmark step forward in the growing need for donated kidneys. They say they have transplanted a genetically modified pig's kidney into a human recipient, and it is still working 1 month later. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos now.
Tonight, a major medical breakthrough bringing us one step closer to using animal organs in humans. Surgeons at NYU Langone announcing they have transplanted a pig kidney into a brain-dead patient. And for the first time, that kidney, genetically modified to better match a human body, has functioned for more than a month without the body rejecting it.
Genetically modified.
To replace all of the important tasks that the human kidney manages.
The sister of that patient, 57-year-old Maurice Mo Miller, saying this groundbreaking study is what her brother would have wanted.
He would be proud of the fact that in the tragedy of his death, his legacy will be helping many people live.
The hope is that one day, pig kidneys could ease a dire shortage of organs. More than 100,000 Americans are waiting for an organ, but each year only about a third will get one. 17 people die each day waiting.
At the end of the day, we have to think about all the people who are dying right now because we don't have enough organs.
Researchers will continue to monitor the kidney for...
Now pause, let me let you know this. Right now, her brother was clinically dead because he was brain dead, but he still had functions inside of his organs were still functioning, but he's brain dead. So basically they keeping him alive on a machine. So anyway, let me just say this to you. The reason why you can use pig organs and merge them and put them inside humans, aka eukaryotic cell organisms, because they have the same genetic sequences. That's why. And this is something that we are turning a deaf ear and a blind to as organic people on the planet. That these people are not us. They were genetically modified and put together inside of a lab. and the animals that they use in order to put them together are here on Earth, and these animals not even older than us. This is the whole issue that we're having. But guess what? The sun is now providing all the proof, because the sun is separating us, and it's going to show. This is why we are in what you call Revelations in Genesis. It's going to show us the truth. It's going to show the organic people of the planet that this is an embarrassment, and the joke is on the other species. This is not hatred. See, they want to use when you talk about genetics as racism. It's not racism. It's only one group. It's only one organic species on the planet. The other species don't have a biological identification to the planet. They don't know where they came from. And so-called black people cannot make people with animal DNA, because we do not have animal genetic sequences in our genes. It's point blank and simple. We have antigens that sit on the outside of our cells, but inside the cell, in the nucleus where their DNA sits at, it's in the nucleus is where their DNA sits at, sends information to the RNA to develop the structure of the cell. Antigens on the outside of our cells cannot change our cellular structure. Pause. All right, here we go right here. How much DNA do we share with pigs? 98%. The genetic DNA similarities between pigs and human beings is 98%. Pause. And this is why you can take their organs from pigs and implant them inside their anatomy, and they can function. But they can't take our organs no more, because we're no longer as densified. See, everything is becoming less dense, and less dense mean everything is not being held together. So those gene sequences that are no longer matching on a micro level all the way to a macro level will no longer stick together. See, it's like putting a car together using Honda, Mercedes, BMW. No, it's not going to be that. From here on out, it's going to be all BMW or all Honda. That's what it's going to be. You're not going to be able to use different parts from other vehicles to make one vehicle. So here we go right here. How much DNA humans shares with rats? Chimpanzees are our closest relatives as a species, and we share at least 98%. Why is this important? This is where you have Elon Musk doing what you call nanotech, practicing on chimpanzees, trying to transfer consciousness inside of chimpanzees, and the experiment is failing dramatically. The punishment that these chimpanzees are going through. But again, you share 98% of the genetic code with a chimpanzee. Of our genome, chimpanzees are our closest relative as a species, and we share at least 98% of our genome with them. That's not us. Our feline friend shares 90% of homologous genes with us. Now, homologous just mean, like I told you before, on a micro, where the protein enzymes and amino acids, the molecules start to develop. This is what homologous mean, that the cellular structure is the same when it comes to worms, rats, chickens, cows. All of that stuff is on a micro level. When the cell is just developing, it's all the same. They all have similarities. That's why they can use that genome to merge it together, fuse it together, and make what we call the living organism, the human being we call today. And this is where I say eukaryotic cells, mixed genetic information from other species to make one living species. There is nothing natural on the planet that no two natural animals. Like, for example, you're not going to see a zebra and a giraffe trying to reproduce with one another. These are two natural animals on the planet that will not reproduce with one another. Point blank and simple. Our feline friends share 98% homologous genes with us. With dogs is 82%, 80% with cows, 69% with rats, and 67% with mice. Pause. Now here we go, my people. Now listen to the lie on why they try to explain why these people no longer reproduce with chimpanzees. Here we go right here. But the truth and a lie all in one. The further apart two animals are in genetic terms, the least likely they are to produce valuable offsprings. Like I told you, no two natural animals on the planet that doesn't share the same genetic code is going to reproduce with one another. They'll actually kill each other before they reproduce with one another. At this point, humans seem to have been separated from other animals for far too long to interbreed. Really? I'm confused. Why did we separate from these animals when we got them in zoos? They all around the planet. I'm confused. How did we separate from these animals to all of a sudden now they not interbreeding with them? No, you can't interbreed with them because they won't get pregnant by you and you won't get pregnant by them because you are two different species, and the eukaryotic cells is a multitude of species genetic information put together to make one living organism. We diverged from our closest instinct relative, the chimpanzees, as many as 7 million years ago. Now hold on for 1 second. You can't track the eukaryotic cell organism on this planet no further back than maybe, I'm gonna say maybe 200,000 years, if that, because this entity been playing God on this planet for quite some time, creating other animals and other species on this planet. But however, understand, you cannot trace no other species, all other races, you can't trace them back no more than 6,000 to 8,000 years on the planet. And what you call the human state, now you can go back maybe 30 to 40,000 years with Neanderthals, but you can't go back when they're in what you call the Homo sapien state, what you call the human state today. You cannot trace them back no further than 6,000 to 8,000 years. And they make an excuse on why these people no longer can interbreed with these animals. And the bottom line and the fact is that they could never do it because they have one thing, even though they share 98% of their DNA with the chimpanzee, they have other animal genetics. And this is where all STDs and viruses come from. Right here, if black people was just asleep with black people and no other species, we wouldn't have any viruses and diseases. This is a direct result of mixing blood that you shouldn't be mixing. Abundance and gratitude to all.